Ah, come on!
Wait, I remember now. Would you care to give your testimony again?
Because I'll allow you to just do that.
I wonder how it works in a real life court. Pretty sure it would.
I'm pretty sure the lawyers made a YouTube video about, like, Phoenix Wright versus real life law.
You see, when I found the body, I heard the time. There was a voice saying the time. It was probably coming from the television. Oh, but it was 3 hours off, wasn't it? I guess the victim must have been watching a video of a taped program. That's why I thought it was 1 p.m. Terribly sorry about the misunderstanding. I see. You heard a voice saying the time on a taped program. Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness.
Right. You know what to do.
I've got this one.
Hot.
You said heard, not saw? Yes, heard. All I saw was the body lying there. I didn't think to look at anything else, least of all my watch. Isn't that a little strange? So you're saying you heard something. But if you were so shocked by the body, you wouldn't hear anything at all.
The witness did say he actually heard the time. It's ludicrous to suggest that he wouldn't hear anything. He's got ears.
I have to agree with the prosecution. Witness, continue your testimony. Are you sure it was a television and not a radio? Oh, no, I guess it might have been a radio.
Incidentally, there was no radio on the premises. There was only one large television, just out of frame.
Right. I can't put my finger on it, but something about this seems fishy. Something about carrying the television.
The witness was testifying. He heard the time.
How do you explain the gap? Well, witness, can you explain this? Video? Yes, that would explain why the time was wrong. True, true.
Right. I think the problem lies someplace else.
We're agreed that you heard the time at the scene then. I know where it is, but I'm trying to figure out which one.
It's the best one.
Yeah.
It's fair. It's fair.
We're gonna do this one. Hold it right there. The prosecution has said there was a blackout at the time of the discovery. And this record proves it. You couldn't have heard a television or a video. The defense has a point. Do you have an explanation for this, Mr. Solid? No, I find it quite puzzling myself. Quite.
Gee.
Wait! I remember now! Mr. Solid, the court would prefer to hear an accurate testimony from the very beginning. These constant corrections are harming your credibility. That, and you seem rather distraught. My apologies, Your Honor. It must have been the shock of finding the body. Very well, Mr. Solid. Let's hear your testimony once more, please.
With feeling.
I don't see the sweat stains on his clothes yet.
True. They could have had a personal generator hooked up to the TV.
Actually, I didn't hear the time I saw it. There was a table clock in the apartment, wasn't there? Yeah, the murder weapon that the killer used it to hit the victim. That must have been what I saw. You saw a clock. I guess that would explain it. The defense may cross-examine the witness. Gladly.
Judge is so done.
Hold it! That strikes me as a very suspicious mistake. Yes, I can see how you'd be a little doubtful. I'm really sorry. I only just remembered that table clock. A table clock. A table clock? Was there a clock at the scene? This is the first I've heard of it. The murder weapon. Yes, the table clock that was used as a weapon. That's what I just said. Did you doze off in the middle of my testimony or something? I mean, something's fishy here.
Bust it.
Yeah, it's
Bust
good,
him!
good tunes, huh?
Objection! Wait just a moment. The murder weapon wasn't a clock. It was this statue. Now, how is this supposed to be a clock? What? You with your objections and your evidence? Just who do you think you are? Just answer the question, Mr. Saw It. Hey, I saw it there, okay? That's a clock!
Your Honor, if I may?
I had to remember my voice for a second. It's been
Yes.
so long.
Mr. Payne.
As the witness stated, this statue is indeed a clock. The neck is a switch. You just tilt it and it says the time out loud. As it doesn't look like a clock, I submitted it as a statue. My apologies.
I see. So the murder weapon was a table clock after all. Well, Mr. Wright, it appears that the witness's testimony was correct. This is a clock. Do you have any problems with his testimony now? Your Honor, there's a gaping hole in the witness's testimony. The only way he could have known the weapon was a clock is to hold it in his hand. Yet the witness testified that he never entered the apartment. Clearly, a contradiction. Indeed. The witness knew it was a clock because he knew the victim went into the apartment. You're lying. You were inside the apartment on the day of the murder. Oh yeah? Prove it! Prove I went in there! I'll do better than that. I can prove you were the one who killed her. You struck her with the clock, and the shock of the blow triggered the clock's voice. That was the sound you heard. Order in the court? Intriguing. Please continue, Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Sawit, the sound must have left quite an impression on you. Understandable, since the murder weapon spoke just as you hit the victim. That voice was burned into your mind. That's why you were so certain about the time.
What's the meaning of this? This is all baseless conjecture.
Baseless?
There's
Just
no
look
face.
at the witness's face.
It's all about that face. That face.
Would the witness care to elaborate? Did you strike the victim with the clock? I never! Look at the clock! I heard, no! I mean, I saw, suddenly, ah! Shut up! I hate you! It was him! I tell you, I saw him! He killed her and he should burn and give him death! Order! Order in the court, I say!
Your Honor, a moment, please.
Oh my god!
There isn't a shred of evidence supporting the defense's claim.
Mr. Wright, Your Honor. You claim the sound the witness heard came from the clock. Do you have any evidence? The whole case is riding on this. I'd better think it out carefully. Your Honor? The sound Mr. Sawid heard was definitely this clock. A fact which is clear if you simply...
If you simply...
Yeah, I know, I'm-
The answer is, I know what the answer is.
One of these things is not like the other. One of these things just doesn't belong. Can you tell me which one?
Let's sound the clock now here in this court. Your Honor, may I have the clock?
For keepsies?
I ask the court to listen very carefully.
I think it's 8:25.
That certainly is a strange way to announce the time. Well, he is the thinker, after all. So, we've heard the clock. What are your conclusions, Mr. Wright? Mr. Payne, can you tell me what time it is now?
It's 11:25.
As you can see, this clock is exactly 3 hours slow. Precisely the discrepancy between Mr. Sawit heard and what the actual time of death was. So, Mr. Sawit, try to talk your way out of this one. You forgot one thing! Uh-oh. What's he talking about now? Well, it may seem like that clock is running 3 hours slow. It proves nothing! How do you know it was running 3 hours slow on the day of the murder? If you can't prove that, you don't have a case! He's right. How am I going to prove that? Damn it, I was so close. Mr. Wright? It seems you lack the critical evidence to support your claim. Yes, Your Honor. This means I cannot let you indict the witness. Unfortunately, This ends the cross-examination of Mr. Frank Todd.